Hi, everyone. This is Carolyn Elephant. I am on the ABA Tech Show 2023 planning board. And with me today is Matt Kerbis, who is one of the Tech Show speakers. Matt, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and also what topics you'll be speaking on at Tech Show?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be speaking at Tech Show. This will be my 13th Tech Show, if you can believe it. I went to law school in Chicago at DePaul, and so I've been going to Tech Show since I was a law student. And so I'm so thrilled to have this opportunity to to speak for the first time. I'm speaking on two panels. I am a practicing attorney in the Chicagoland area. In 2022, I joined the Great Resignation. I left a law firm to start my own practice based on the subscription model. So that's a little bit of a teaser. I will be speaking about the subscription model, even though I've been doing my podcast Law Subscribed since before then, and I've been talking about and advocating for the subscription model before I launched my own practice based on it. But I finally decided in March of 2022 I had to practice what I preached, and so in addition to talking to a lot of attorneys who have been innovating in the space, I'm now also doing that myself. So while I call myself the subscription attorney, I'm definitely not the first. I'm just the first to claim that title. So on March 3rd at Tech Show, I will be talking about the subscription model. But the day before that, I will be talking about law in the metaverse. I'll be on a panel for that.
Wow, so that sounds amazing. So I wanted to ask you a little about the subscription model. It sounds like you've been working in that space for a while. And as you probably know, a lot of attorneys are very skeptical about whether something like subscriptions, which we think of and associate with magazines, whether that's something that could be used in law. So I was wondering, could you tell us what's the most common objection you hear to the subscription model and how you'd respond to that?
Yeah, I think like just alternative fee arrangements in general, a lot of attorneys shy away from because we are a practice based on precedent. And what's the precedent for most attorneys practicing today? It's the billable hour. And just so the most pushback I get is it's simply an unknown. And there's not a lot of, in the legal profession, data to show that it works. But you could look across the board in other professions and other industries on the applicability of the subscription model. And lawyers are really smart. They could adapt it to the legal profession. And that's what so many lawyers, even before me, have done. And I think thanks to the podcast that I have, Law Subscribed, more lawyers are starting to do. And so I'm learning as I do it. There's no one right way to do it. But what it provides for you that the billable hour cannot is predictability. And so you can better predict what your monthly recurring revenue is going to be, and then what your annual recurring revenue is going to be. And then you could better plan out your month and your year and your legal tech spend, which is really important when we're talking about ABA Tech Show, what your marketing spend is going to be, what it's going to cost to have employees, et cetera, et cetera. It becomes a lot easier when you have predictable revenue. And what does that do for your clients? Well, it makes your clients happier because they know what they're going to be spending to get legal services. Depending on your practice area, it might be something different, but the subscription model also helps with underscoping flat fee work, because for attorneys who are innovating with the billable hour and abandoning it for flat fee work, there's an underscoping, overscoping problem. And what the subscription model can do, partnered with the flat fee model, is help take into account some underscoping, overscoping issues, where what happens if I say I'll do something for $1,000, but it ends up taking way more time than I initially thought. Well, if you're getting those monthly recurring payments, that sort of makes up for that difference. So there's a lot of opportunity there, and that's where I try to push back at the pushback and say, hey, there's a lot of opportunity here.
Yeah, no, it's very important to have that steady, predictable stream of revenue for small businesses because they're most prone to fail due to cash flow issues. So to the extent that this can backstop those cash flow issues, I think it's something that's definitely worth exploring. I wanted to ask you also about your other panel, Law in the Metaverse. Is there any kind of, tell us a little bit about that. And also, are you going to be, is there a tool or technique that you'll be sharing that our conference goers can implement right away, even before they leave Tech Show? Because that's always something that happens with a conference. You go and then you go home and you're overloaded. You don't put anything into action. So is there going to be something you'll share that people can put into effect right away?
Well, I'll defer a little bit to my co-panelists, Diane Littlejohn and Kristen Roberts, because they are even more so practicing like in that space. I come at it from a very high level when it comes to law in the metaverse. Part of my role on the panel is helping with definitions, helping define things, and helping. So I guess for me, the takeaway that I'll be providing for the attendees to that particular panel will be a better comprehension and understanding of what is the metaverse, what is Web3, what is how does AI, how is AI incorporated in that? And so that's sort of will be my takeaway is they'll have a better comprehension of, this is what it is. And then Diane and Kristen, with what they'll be bringing to that panel, they should even have some more takeaways specifically for their practice.
Yeah, that sounds great because I mean, all of these things are in the news all the time. So I just wanted to close out, having been to 13 tech shows already, what are you looking forward to, or what do you look forward to most when you attend a tech show, specifically for the one this year?
I mean, having been to so many, I'm just super excited to be speaking, right? Like, because I've attended so many presentations at tech shows. So that is the most exciting thing for me personally. But also just to see what cool new thing is going to be out there. Startup Alley, I remember the first year we had Startup Alley, and I've seen, some of those legal tech startups don't exist anymore. Some of them have been swallowed up and acquired by other legal tech companies, but there's always something really cool to come out of Startup Alley. So I highly encourage everyone go and check that out.
So that sounds great. Well, Matt, I am looking forward to meeting you in person at Tech Show and to hopefully stopping in on some of your programs. And if anybody else out there wants to come and attend Tech Show, you can join us in Chicago, March 1st to 4th, 2023, and register at www.techshow.com. Hope to see everybody there. Thanks so much, Matt.
Thank you.